welcome back to the GG.Bet Invitational for New York, of course. That's coming up in September. We got the qualifiers first, and we're going through the groups bit by bit into the best of threes now, however. And our first game to start off, BIG versus HellRaisers.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, this is an elimination game.
Yeah.
It's not decider. It's not to see who's going to go through to the playoffs immediately. It's actually just do or die right off the bat.
Yikes.
Probably not what you would have expected, but these teams have had a bit of a rocky, I guess, last couple of months, if you want to put it that way. That's probably a nice way to talk about it for BIG, right? That's a safe way
of saying it, yeah.
Yeah. No, it hasn't really gone the way you would have expected for these names, and that's why we find ourselves in this situation. But, you know, I remain hopeful. You know, there's bound to be some improvement, right?
There's got to be one winner here.
Yeah, that's somebody's bound to win. So somebody's going to get a W. It hasn't been a whole lot of them for either sides as of late. And remains to be seen. I'm curious to see BIG. I didn't get to see their full game yesterday that you and Dicko covered. So it's going to be like a first viewing for me to see what the, I guess, German, now English lineup as
Turkish as well.
Yeah, Turkish as well with Santares. What they've, been able to do. Because, again, there's such a new lineup that they're going to have to roll off just the very basic stuff and have to rely on individuals. And team play is going to gradually get better. Like, you might see day-to-day progress from a team like that. I think it's a little bit different in the situation that HellRaisers find themselves in.
Yeah, you've also got to remember we've got Legia playing it rather than Nex as well. So that's another thing to take into account. You know, not only is it a new roster with changes,
it's not even
it's not even their full roster, right? So that adds another caveat, I guess, to the performance. But hopefully we can see a good performance from BIG today. But
you hope so. But the maps is going to be really. We were looking over this. The map sets for both teams in this potential map. None of the maps actually look too promising, which is a bit of a new one, I guess.
Both teams had one map with an above 50% win percentage in the last 3 months.
Yes,
one map,
one. And those are probably going to get banned out, right? So on the side of BIG, it's Train. That's one of their better maps. That's already been removed. Nuke has gone. Has been vetoed out as well. Overpass actually makes it through. That's super surprising to me because that was that's the one map that HellRaisers has above 50% win rate. And that's actually a map there where they, if I'm not mistaken, beat Liquid. If they didn't beat them, they lost 16-14. So again, they've been duking it out with some of the best teams in the world recently with their current form on that map. So yeah, having Dust 2, Overpass, and Inferno. Inferno is a decider. That's always a safe bet, I guess.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That feels nice. I'm not really sure if we're going to get to that point, though.
Yeah, wait, you think it's a 2 over HellRaisers, even with Dust 2 in the mix?
See, that's the thing, right? I never believe in any team that actually goes to Dust 2 as their map pick. Yeah. I've just learned that lesson that it never really pans out. Even the French that used to be so solid on that map, on average, that just... even they let me down. So for now, like whenever a team picks Dust 2 as their map pick, it used to be the thing where if you're an underdog, you're going, let's say you're a caster stack going up against Na'Vi, right? And you're like, yeah, we're gonna pick Dust 2 because that's the only chance in hell we have of getting some rounds. Exactly, exactly. We've learned that. But it's like that was always the map that kind of gave you a bit of a fighter's chance, or what is it, a boxer's chance, or fighter's punch.
I've heard fighter's chance. That works.
Yeah, exactly. So you have this chance to land at least a couple of rounds, and you do well for yourself just off of how open and free that map can be at times.
And
so
I guess how basic to a degree.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because that's a map that literally everyone has played. Doesn't matter when you start Counter-Strike. If you started Counter-Strike, you probably played Dust 2 the first time you joined a server. Yeah, I just don't feel confident in any team picking into it. If it's left as a third map decider, sure, fair is fair, but picking it is usually a sign of desperation to me because I've yet to see a team actually just fully master it to the point where they can come out, ahead more often than not.
I mean, I'm all for the anti-Dust 2 brigade. I hate that map anyway, in every form.
I don't mind the map too much. I kind of wish we saw some small changes when they brought Dust 2 back. I was really hoping that they would swap around doors on B to make it a little bit of a different look for CTs and that kind of stuff. So we haven't seen those small changes, but I don't know. I still think we see entertaining games on Dust 2 simply off of the fact that it allows for individuals to shine in a pretty big way. So if you get a simple on a Dust 2 map, things can happen. Same thing with
Smooya.
or with really sick operas, right? Like Smooya.
Or Woxic. Wait, Oscar, sorry.
Oscar,
Woxic. Forever in my heart, but that's hard to forget about. Either way, that's going to be a great matchup in terms of the AWP battles, having Smooya against Oscar.
Yeah, you have some pretty hot riflers walking around on the server too. Xantaurus, always fun to watch, right?
Tapson.
So there is a lot of, I guess, potential for good good Counter-Strike here, even though it might not be the most tactically diverse or the most tactically solid play. At least the individuals will have the opportunities to win rounds for their teams.
Yeah, without doubt. And of course, with this being an elimination game as well, one of these two teams that I think you could, at least on paper, place in, maybe coming into the event, and both of them in the top 4. I would have liked to have thought,
yeah,
right. And well, now one's immediately gone, so that's going to make a lot more room for obviously the teams like Optic, for example, that are looking to win this event. And I think there's definitely a world where they could do that. Fours as well. Obviously, they've been on the rise, they've been on the grind, and yeah. So this is kind of scary, obviously, to be in this position, but it's going to be something that other teams are a little more hopeful about.
Yeah, they're relishing the thought of one of these two teams going. I think for BIG, for them, this is more, getting started, more or less. Not even that, because as you said, they're playing with Legia instead of Nex for the time being. So for them, this is just kind of feeling things out, getting an understanding of how they want to play with each other. For HellRaisers, I think a lot more is at stake, simply because they have been a team for a longer period of time. They've played together. They've been, part of every invitational here so far, and they've not really done that much better. That's the thing that worries me. They have good showings every now and again, but it's rarely over the course of a best of 3. They kind of just seem to fall flat. So with that said, I'm a little bit surprised by the fact that I'm thinking HellRaisers might take this 2-0, but because Overpass went through, I think that's a possibility.
Ooh, okay, right. We'll jump into that, though. BIG, of course, winning the knife round as well. Dust 2 doesn't really matter by any means of the word, but yeah, we'll see what side they pick. I don't know.
It's really like it is. You mentioned this with Vertigo yesterday, right? Like it's a map where it's still to the point where you could see people having a dominant CT side, but the next time they play, they get trashed on the CT side, but they have a really dominant T side just as an answer
it's
back.
just so matchup dependent, right? Like
exactly.
There's not necessarily a more difficult or more easy half, right? It's just kind of, team to team.
Dust 2 kind of feels that way, too, that no teams necessarily are guaranteed to get 10 rounds on the CT side. That's not really a thing. That's the thing of the past. And also, it comes down to, again, we talked about this as well, spawns. Are you going to play spawn-based positioning, or are you actually going to go off of what, I guess your usual positions? Then that might be messed up, given what kind of spawn cycle you have, which is always going to be interesting. But we'll see how it pans out.
And here we go, right into the first map of the day. BIG sticking with the CT side. We've got double kit in the pistol. I'm going to assume that's an accident. I never understand why I see that. We've even got team knives. This is just going very interestingly to start off the pistol.
That's the least damage I've seen from a team knife.
Yeah, right. Where'd he get him? In the
8.
Toe?
I don't know. Minimizing the damage. But yeah, the 2, I guess when you have 4 flashes, you might set up for, well, anti-flashes on long, but Tijin is actually the one to face the corner, so that's not going to be the case. But it does set up at least for some aggressive push possibilities, whether it's on a retake or just mid-round.
Oscar's got himself out into middles, and Tara is spotting for it. Flash coming through, but not going to be connecting. Oscar dodge and just dueling, not committing yet. There's the kill. So opening now for HellRaisers, and they're just going to burst out through middle, smoke towards the CT spawn, and one man coming through the tunnels. That'll be Lau. Another flash going out. These CTs trying to force fights, but they're going to get overwhelmed. Eventually, kills coming through. Legia and Tabson finding 3 between them. 2 players left up, split on the T side as well, and that bomb's been dropped by the window. This has gone from bad to worse for HellRaisers.
Yeah, especially with Angel getting picked off. Tijin with the rotation around from long. He's going to net that. Still has a flash as well, but it's not even going to come into play. Smuya cleans up Lowell, and nice response from BIG. They used the 2 flashes they have on the B bomb side on Legia to actually push out, but pretty much just mush whatever presence HellRaisers had towards mid. So you're completely fine with giving up the inside of B there, even if it were to lead to a bomb plant, just because you're going to have such a massive man advantage going into the retake.
GG.Bet odds still favoring HellRaisers as well coming into the series, so you're on par with that at least, and
see how long it lasts.
Yeah, well, the start for BIG could certainly change that, but HellRaisers have forced up in the second round, looking to try and win with the Scout and Deagles.
Yeah, one thing HellRaisers have been kind of iffy about in the past have been their economy management. We've seen them happily forced by into situations where it doesn't make too much sense. Hopefully that's not going to be like a continuing trend for them. But Oscar on a Scout can definitely do damage. We know that. So there's still risks abound for BIG here. Definitely not the flash you wanted.
Clips the corner. Hate to see it. These tees are up short though, and Smuya knows it. He can hear all of this, and Oscar getting spotted, trying to find a pick with his scout. It's double FAMAS time for Big, but only one kill coming through before Smoothie gets traded. They're going to give up the A site, play for retake here. tabseN's trying to make it as painful as possible. Molotov landing for that short spot, force them to plant safe. So now the post plants have to be taken into consideration here for HellRaisers, because Big are going to obviously give this a go. They have the kits and they've got the flashbangs. Going back in is tabseN from lower. Oh, getting dinked, and Angel as well. These players so low but not getting finished off. Is the first player to fall in the post plant, and this is really where things should start to get cleaned up. Nothing landing for HellRaisers and no one standing except for Nuki. He can't even play that bomb plant. Will be getting one, but it seems like that's all she wrote. Big with the second round as well. HellRaisers force finds not too much.
Yeah, they don't. At least they get the bomb plant, so their economy is kind of back to even if with that investment. They're not going to be able to buy up in this one. It's a couple of more kills. They might have been interested. Oh, God.
You mention it, and here it comes.
Well, I was about to say, like, they didn't do enough economic damage to necessarily warrant it, but I guess that doesn't stop HellRaisers.
But the thing is, it's not like you even have a lot of utility into this bar. You got 3 smokes and 5 flashbangs. That is real trash.
That it's just bad, yeah, straight up. So Flash is not going to work out because they simply just have one of them, and it doesn't flash Centaurs all that much. They do get a trade, so you're always happy to work with that. But look at the Preston is here from Smoothie. He's pushed up mid from Catwalk, and there's no coverage on the side of HellRaisers. They're so aggressive in Upper Dark as well. Leggy is taking control over Upper Dark completely as well.
Oh, Smoothie's been patient. He wasn't going for the full wraparound. He was waiting for someone to back off. And Angel, he's going to give him a kill. The nade is perfect, and Smoothie doubles it up. Trade is back there for HellRaisers, but yeah, I mean, what a perfect play to keep Big in this round.
That's exactly what you want. And Issa and Oscar have quite the rough journey ahead of them. tabseN's going to spot out Oscar. You think he would take a lot of damage from that, but takes 7, even though he gets hit twice. Again, Legia's so far forward, he can pretty much get the wrap whenever he wants. He just wants some sort of confirmation from any of his teammates as to where HellRaisers are moving. The smoke out into mid. He's going to roll back in probably to help out tabseN here. Or is he?
Oh, it's sending them back. He's going to spot middle. If you drop Issa here, it's just going to be one player alone on the site. Now, Big have given up A in the meantime, but Issa's trapped right now. Leggy's got his number, and Oscar, he will be on A. He will get that plant, but the Molotov, that's going to force him out into the open immediately. He's got to take a fight. Does win it out onto Katizian.
4 HP.
And oof.
This is going to be a rough one. Legia still has a flash as well. It's not going to mount to anything, though, as it goes out, but so much HP, all the firepower you want on the side of Big.
Oh.
Might have had a chance there with the lineup.
My question is, do they go for it again?
You know what? At this point, I can't really write it off, can I?
I mean, because this time it would actually be justifiable, right? To some degree, like you can get a buy. Yeah, it's actually decent.
They would get a better buy. Again, they're going to be low on utility, and they've done decent enough damage. But now there's going to be ops in play on the side of Big. How do you deal with that when you don't have utility necessarily? If they want to go up Catwalk, how do you deal with, for example, an op on the cart position? You pretty much get one go of it, and you have to be successful right off the bat. We'll see, though. HellRaisers need to find success early on. Is Smoothie actually going to go for this? No, he's just going to hold a passive angle.
Ooh, this has got out long, though, with his back turn. That smoke on the corner shields their vision. Big putting a lot of stake in this long control, but they're going to have to bail. So much utility landing in their face.
The fact that they actually make it out with any losses in numbers is pretty impressive. This was so close to at least getting 1 out of the 3 players on long there.
Nice to see at least this time HellRaisers don't send everyone in long and therefore don't have any information nor control. That was what lost them 2 players outside long to Smoothie in the previous round. Yeah,
the one issue they're always going to run into now, though, with these constant force buys is the fact that, sure, you've gotten long control, but you have 1 smoke and you have 2 flashes. And you need to work off of that for the rest of the round. So they're kind of forced in how they can actually play this out. Even if they were to go for a cross long, with a single smoke, how do you really deal with that? I guess best option is to put down the smoke. We could see Angel lining it up. That's going to land at spawn, and hope that there's nobody in front of it. tabseN's already boosted up here.
He's going to be smoked off though. Can't do a thing. Tizian's up on the site. Yeah, already gone. tabseN gets a kill through the smoke though, and
I think he can peer over it from the boost spot.
Really? That's dirt. Oof.
So yeah, HellRaisers with 0 utility get about as much success as you'd expect. And Big, only sustaining 1 loss. They're going to be super happy about how this has started.
Yeah, if anything, I'm glad HellRaisers didn't get a bomb plant because they would have bought if they did.
They probably would have.
I mean, it would have been better. But it's always, they just get a tiny little bit better every time, and that's what justifies your buy. But really, you're not going to have an AWP until like 8 rounds into the game. So
that's the issue, right?
Better that they take an eco here.
And if you're down 7-0 already on the CT side before you've even gotten on the board, then you need to be perfect pretty much for the remainder of the half.
Well, the Eagles and the Scout again for Oscar. HellRaisers back in through lower tunnels. Just putting early pressure on middle, but Big don't really have too much stake in that position. Xantara is rotating off of A to at least keep his eyes on it.
I think Tizian saw Nuke. Yeah, he did. Just a little warning shot.
Duck pre-fire headshot.
Nice. Muya versus Oscar. Duel we were expecting to see. Probably not with the Scout versus the Nov. A little bit of an unfair advantage. We're still going to miss the first shot. Oh, there you go.
Unfair advantage indeed, Oscar. Too good. Molly does land, but they've already gone right through it, so Xantares has to forfeit the site. He has to give them the bomb plant. HellRaisers, good situation to be in, considering this was only a pistol buy for them. You said you only get 1 chance with that AWP fight. Well, Oscar got a second.
Yeah.
And it worked out wonderfully. Big are going to have to go for this, and they have the flashbangs to do it, but nice and slow through the CT spawn. Flash is starting to come through. Iss is the first to fall, and Xantara is moving up on the site. That's a great flashbang from Taps, and Oscar blind as well. And they are just getting mown to shreds here. Finally, Angel last alive. It is a short plant, but he's not got a weapon for it. Big, a 5th round in a row. HellRaisers at least get a plant and make it interesting, but it's not going to be their round.
It's not going to be their round, but now I guess the main goal of everything comes together. They're going to have AWP on Oscar. They're going to have plenty of utility for once. We'll see if they're able to get bomb plants, which they have done a fair few times already. 3 bomb plants to their name means that either they're doing a good enough job to actually get onto the bomb sites, or Big are happy playing retakes. It's going to be very different playing retakes versus a team that actually has some utility left.
Yeah.
See how all of that pans out. It's a bit of a cheeky move, actually, putting down the decoy as you're running down. Maybe that prevents people from daring to peek. It's not going to prevent Smooth from going aggressively, and he's going to get the drop on Oscar.
Actually, I think more than anything, you're baiting an AWP into peeking you there.
Yeah, you hear the shot, just like, now I can go.
Yeah.
It's my time.
But he's already scoped up. There's a clip of World Edit doing that on Cash, on like Z Connector.
Throwback.
Yeah. Just because it's the only one I've ever seen that actually worked, right? He just throws down a decoy.
That was before the decoy was even remotely useful. Yeah, because I mean, now it's in its best state ever because it doesn't show up on the radar. That's a nice Molotov. You need to move, Tizian. Took a while to do so. Wanted the smoke in from his teammate before he went out of the position.
That smoke was not the one on the molly, though. That went inside of the doors.
Yeah. He just wanted the cover, I suppose, to not give up the positioning because could get spammed down.
Ooh. Smooth back with the AWP, though, looking for his 2nd kill of the round. HellRaisers do take cat control, and he's just going to sit back on the site right now. Angel waiting for a flashbang up, and that's perfect time. He gets into the spawn as well. Now, do Big realize this? Do they know? That's the question.
No,
there's no one here to deal with them, but HellRaisers are out through mid anyway.
Shouldn't have any idea. Now they get confirmation on it, and now it's a rough spot for Leggy and Xantares to be in. Finds one, but probably not enough. Oh, that's a perfect flash. Nokia clears out the B bomb site, and now we're going to have a real challenge for Big here. No mid control. Angel in a perfect spot. And if you're Big, you're probably looking to save at this stage either. There's not really too much to gain from going further here. Okay. Tabson apparently died from that angle before, clears it out.
And that will tempt them.
Yeah, absolutely. No more utility on the T side as well.
Tizian's coming late through the tunnels, but he's low. He's only 1 shot away from death. That's the molly. The Tabson forces Nuki out into the open. Tizian takes the kill. It's just Val left on the car. Spraying desperately. 2 kills, but Smooya with a drop shot AWP. He should just have enough time for that one as well. Big are going to lock in another retake. That's 4 out of 4 now. And 6 out of 6 in rounds.
Perfect scenario for them. HellRaisers actually getting onto a bomb site, but not having the utility left over to hold them back for just that couple of extra seconds to win them out the round. Good Molotov usage still, and again, good angle clearing, I suppose, from Tabs in the mid there. It's such an easy angle to forget about as you move into mid, and obviously you have to be a little bit wary about what can be tucked around the corner towards double doors as well. Oh, was that even before he jumped? It was.
That was on the right side of the door.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, tag down to 30. Oscar's got his AWP, and Smooya knows it.
And he's the only player over towards B. Legia didn't make the cross here.
This is dangerous.
Really is.
Uh-oh.
Level's not stationed too aggressively to go for a peek, though. And I guess if he walks into it now, it should be a kill for Smooya, but definite weakness over towards the B bomb site now for Big. It's about whether or not HellRaisers can actually find it. Oh, this is so aggressive. This is such a wild thing to do when you're the sole player on that bomb site, especially with an AWP.
And 30 HP. All Lau has to do is check it, and Smooth's going to be tunnel visioned in. You won't see a thing. Nuki getting caught in the doors. Tizian pushed up at the start of the round. Lau's going to give away his position. He just threw away the ace up his sleeve, and Smooya's ready for it. That is so unfortunate. Lau wasn't to know, and Oscar, he is going to open up mid in the meantime, but it's not like they can set up for a mid to be split. They lost their tunnels control.
That's a juicy grenade as well onto Oscar. He's down to 11 HP. How do you get control over a bomb site now? Yeah, that's the real big issue. Bomb's going to move up on short. Oscar's just kind of, well, stuck in no man's land. Just going to rotate back into mid. Main site take coming up through Cat. Tabson still in a position to be able to deal with this as well.
Ooh, would he get caught though? He's throwing up a flashbang. Angel going to peek ahead of it and catches the perfect timing. Tizian,
he actually landed
that's
that.
one bullet. They're going to win the round off it, maybe. As I say that, it's the doubles back with 2, and that bomb's still dropped on the site. 15 seconds, he's got to go for it. He can't afford to mess around looking for this flank kill. 10 seconds now. Smooya's right below him. He's going to drop and try and take the fight. Smooya's got the pistol, and he lands the headshot. Big are locking down this map right now, 7-0.
I have no idea how Tizian landed that shot. It felt like just the accidental shot you just fire as you're about to turn, you know, away from flashes and everything, and actually connects on the side. The site player.
It's like as he shot, that player peeked into the angle.
Yeah, that was just a perfect scenario for Tizian. And it's such a monumental kill as well. You'd imagine that Tizian just dies in a matter of half a second if he misses that shot, right? All of a sudden, HellRaisers have a pretty significant advantage to play the after plant.
Well, after plant, they didn't even have the bomb dropped down on the ramp. I mean, that was the player with the bomb, actually, that being said, so...
Man, that's it's a rough one for HellRaisers. We kind of joked about it. What if they forced by and all of a sudden find themselves down 7-0? Well, they haven't forced butt necessarily all the way, but none of these rounds have actually gone their way. They've had a few close ones at that. It's not really going to help you too much, though. Big's still going to be perfectly fine money-wise, for at least for this time. They are losing a fair few players, though, every single round. I think it's, what, 2 rounds in a row where they've had a single player survive, and that's Smooya in both cases.
And he has been doing well. 8-3 right now, 9-3.
Yeah. And it seems like everyone on Big has had their moments so far. I think, pretty much everyone. Pissed around, Legia came up big, flashing, getting a double kill, and so on. Tizian with a pretty damn crucial shot over that long there.
Haven't really seen Xantares.
No, he's just kind of hung out in mid, and he hasn't gotten the better of Oscar in a fair few of his duels. But he had the 1-3K round, right, with the precision on the AK.
Hey, that's enough. 7-0. I mean, whatever's happening, keep it up. It's not a problem yet. At least HellRaisers is still yet to field around on this T side.
And that's a problem because you don't really see where they're going to find their openings, because a lot of this is broken strategies that kind of get turned around by individual prowess in a lot of instances, and that's not something you can build off of. It's like, well, we're going to go down to a 3v5 and then hope that somebody gets a multi-kill. Yeah. That's not a strategy. That's not a tactic you can employ to win a whole lot of rounds. And yeah, for that little lead they had on GG.Bet odds-wise, that's completely gone. Pretty heavily in the favor of Big right now. And I'm surprised by, I guess, how lackluster HellRaisers have been, because it's been the same impression I've had of them in every invitational we've seen so far. You kind of expect, like, okay, new week, there are going to be some improvements, and they still kind of fall for the same kind of trap over and over again. And now we're not even seeing the best kind of executes out of them. They're not necessarily having or it's not easy to see, at least, whether or not they have a clear plan as to what they want to do for each and every round.
They're not making their own job easy.
No, they really are not. And it would be kind of a disaster for HellRaisers now to dip out of the Invitational at this stage just as quick as you can. Especially because, I mean, I think HellRaisers are the kind of team that suffer a fair bit from being, I guess, offliners, if you want to use that term. They usually do way better in an offline environment than what they do in online games.
I feel like HellRaisers play to the level of their opponent quite a lot. Like, you put them up against a top-tier team, and I feel like they can take a map, but sometimes they struggle just with, little online matches against Bob and Dave, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we might have a chance on Dust too. No,
So-
but it is true. Like they are very rarely just consistently performing at their A level, which is very disappointing, obviously, because there's a ton of talent within the team. Issa is super good rifler. Oscar obviously doesn't need really an introduction at all. And it's not like Lowell, Angel, and so on, and Nikki are slouches either, right? So they all have accolades that most players could just dream of.
Well, we're back in at least. HellRaisers hopefully having worked out some of their problems. 7-0 right now to Big. We don't have an AWP for HellRaisers. Their back on rifles is still far from perfect. Not that you won in this position, but...
One upside here is the fact that because they've done a good job of limiting the numbers on the side of Big, they have a possibility to potentially break the CT side here.
Yeah. I mean, if Big are losing this round, they're straight up buying anyway. But even so... HellRaisers looking to keep it simple, keep it basic, set up for a B play. They've got 4 players in the tunnels. Nuki's up on Catwalk. He can try and sell a fake towards A.
Yeah, and they kind of have to stay packed together as well because they don't have all the utility to really set up fakes multiple places or use all that much to cover up angles. So they need to be efficient with what they have. So exit smoke comes out. Molotov for Plateau, and in they go.
Ooh, spray is there. Legia, ooh, let's go with the trigger, and he's going to regret that one.
Yeah.
Double entry coming through for HellRaisers. Zantares, he's gone. The round is over. And HellRaisers have locked in, finally, a T-side round. Bomb plant coming through, and you can really see Big are just shuffling down over on the A side. No reason to move. Just go for exits. And, of course, as said, they're likely just going to buy up into the next round. So these 2 safe guns will certainly tempt them into doing so.
That was a weird one, though, from Legia. As you said, just let go of his mouse button for some reason. He was looked on point to get the first kill and eventually follow it up, within all the chaos.
And then dropped in.
Yeah, and changed target as well. Did not pan out. I thought that for sure was going to be a double kill for Legia, and then, or at the very least one, which is going to give more time, obviously, for Centaurs to help out as well.
That was like the shutdown position, to deal with that
Not
push.
flashed out.
No one was watching it. They're all running through a smoke. Unfortunate, but can't win them all. HellRaisers finally get around, and they keep 5 alive, most importantly.
Yeah.
Gonna start to try and build up some money here on the T side.
The only way this could have been better for them really would have had Smooya being one of the early rotations, I guess, to pick up an AWP for Oscar, but can't have it all. You got to start somewhere. This might be it. So we'll see if they have purchased up behind this. You can see a couple of guns being tossed back and forth. It's not an exceptional buy by any means from Big Side, but they do have the AWP and 2 FAMASs.
Well, another long take for HellRaisers. We've already got Lau out ahead of that nade. It does tag down Issa instead. Smooya, he's pushed lower. Now Oscar's holding for it, and Smooya's found the angle. Almost looked like he was going to lose his life there, but now Tunnels belongs to Big. They have 3 players in position. Angel going to try and move in and regain control, but Tizian will take him down as well. Just one-on-ones being won by Big, and HellRaisers are trapped in on long right now.
Yeah. They have 2 smokes at least this time, but no flashes really to get Tabson off the position. So even with the scout, he can do massive damage here. Ooh. Here we go. Tag damage already achieved. Juicy nade.
Oh, he even takes down the bomb as well. Molly to land behind them, and Tabson's doing more damage by the second. Eventually dropped by Issa. Zantara's stuck on the site. He's trying to isolate a fight. He's got the smoke to his right, and Issa's hiding behind him, but he's not going to get much further than the car. Drive-by shooting here for Big, and an 8th round locked in. HellRaisers, they have a brief moment of positivity, but it's stripped away from them, however.
Yeah, it really is, but you mentioned it. The one round they did pick up over towards the B bomb site survived with all 5 players, so they're going to have enough money to actually get a proper buy-in in this one. Up on Oscar. Smooya still has his. So there's still opportunities here for HellRaisers to swing back into this. Obviously, it's not like the big economy is going to be sorted at this stage. But again, HellRaisers are just, in general, having a hard time picking up rounds. Teji in the smoke as well. Definitely been a fan of hiding behind either the outside doors or actually moving into cave, which is problematic to deal with as the T side.
Tizian has been doing that from time to time, but maybe the spam from Nuki sending him back for a little bit here. They'll set up a double towards Pit instead, just tempting HellRaisers to take long, but that won't be the case. They go back towards middle and do get catwalk control as well. This AWP has been far more passive in these last few rounds. Smooth just sitting on the site. He's already forced back off one angle from the flashbang.
Yeah.
So HellRaisers know they put enough pressure on A. They can rotate back and go to what worked previously.
Yeah. At least found some success over towards that B bomb site. We'll see how quickly Big actually respond to this if they have an inkling. They've been pretty adamant about actually pushing forward on either side of the map, depending on the information they've gained. This time, though, it's going to be all down to Legia and Tabson. Okay, so flashes come in. Legia's a little bit all over the place, but does found his positioning.
Ooh, that's a better shot. Open up at least comes from him. He's trying to buy time in the corner so his teammates can at least assist. It's a spray, and Legia almost gets the kill away, trying to tuck. Oscar even following up onto Xantares, and that's another rotate kill. That might just be the round once again. Tizian's in tunnels. I mean, if he finds a kill or two here, maybe they go for it, but Smooger is so far away.
And he's got an AWP as well, right? It's not too enticing of an idea to go for this kind of a retake. So probably going to hold on to it. Again, probably might be, well, it could very well be a similar situation as to what we saw a couple of rounds ago, right? Having 2 weapons saved up, you force buy behind it, have Smooya and Tizian drop a weapon, you work off of that. Didn't let them around win the last time, so why not once more?
And Yuki was actually already hunting for those exits as the B play came through. He was up on catwalk immediately, so lucky that Smooya and Tizian pushed off very quickly. They hold onto their guns, and Big are certainly going to buy around them again. Smooya can drop a rifle, and they can get a couple of pistols or scouts or whatever they really want in this. But HellRaisers maybe starting to find a bit of a groove on the T side. Second round taken. I mean, it's only been B takes, and that's coming down to just you win 2 duels in B, and there you go. Rounds 9 out of 10 times going to be yours. So it works, but once Big start realizing that and locking it down, HellRaisers, I imagine, are going to have a rough time. But maybe this AWP could be what changes it. Oscar back on that. And a pause.
It needs to maintain, though, if you're HellRaisers. It's so important. If you can salvage this into 5 rounds, maybe, on your T side, then you still have some fight left in you. But again, if you give Big 11+ rounds, it feels like it's just a matter of time before it all falls apart.
Not going to buy around this, interestingly enough, just taking the eco. They have got, a bit of loss bonus. If
they were happy enough to do it in the previous one, though, so a little bit surprised to see this.
Especially when you're 8-2 up, but fair enough. We'll see. This looks like a fast mid-play from HellRaisers. They are just going straight down, holding W into middle. Legia's close, but he's not going to be able to stop them. He'll hear these footsteps going past. The USP at the box getting shut down. Nuki's just on a 360 tear. Issa getting caught after Tizian pushes the doors. Now it's a 4-on-4 with guns being retrieved. This is certainly looking tantalizing for Big as the bomb gets planted.
You might just hold on to these 3 weapons, though, and be pretty happy about it. Sets you up really nicely for the rest of the rounds and a half. Considering you only have 2 kits and one of them's on your offer, I think you might be better off, holding off. Also being able to, keep boss grid bait.
That's a big kill there. If Nuki goes down to Xantares, there's a world where Big just start to push back in because it's a 4-on-2, but an equalization frag and Smooth getting heard retreating. He has got cover from that other AWP. Leggy has picked it up. And considering this was a couple of rifles and 3 pistols, Big will be very happy with that round.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they got a lot out of it. Just, I guess, thinking ahead. It's really the big thing. 2 ops, 1 AK. I'm assuming Tabson is going to be the one to pick up the secondary op. There we go. It's going to be a pretty damn good buy on the set of Big, all things considered. I would imagine Smooya actually drops a weapon here as well, unless they've already sorted it out.
He has.
There you go. So now it becomes immediately harder for HellRaisers here to keep grabbing rounds, but they've found success over towards that B bomb site, so let's see if there's any sort of adjustment from Big side. They're actually going to put Tabson aggressive with an op.
And he's already nailed the first shot as well. No flash, no smoke, and HellRaisers a man down immediately. The Molotov sends him back. Noteworthy as well, Oscar again used a decoy in spawn. He dropped it. He shot with the first decoy to actually, prove that it was him, quote unquote, because a bullet will go through the door, and then he waited after the second shot. That's really smart, but it's not worked just yet. Big aren't falling for it.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much of an interest from Big to actually take this challenge, and I can understand that.
Them, yeah.
If anything, you maybe want to do it on the T side. It's easier to just sit there and hold an angle and wait for a CT to walk into your crosshairs. Now, though, Lowell's made his way in towards T-spawn. CT spawn. This is going to join him from the opposite direction. Bit of a strange take at that. Smooth is definitely not ready for it, though.
I think he might be scoped up on top of the catwalk. Didn't realize he could already be in spawn because Xantares was tucked in behind the site. Might be enough, though. He's shut down the first couple coming through. And Lau, he was in CT the whole time, but he might die there as well. Pistols out. tabseN swapping back to the AWP. And finally, the spam comes through. It's a 9th round for Big.
Bit of an awkward battle there.
Yeah.
Everything's been a little bit awkward for HellRaisers so far in this game. They've only found success over towards the B-bomb site. And I guess try to just force the issue, I suppose, at this stage. I guess they might be a little bit weary about it once they lose Angel immediately to tabseN on and off, but you haven't found success anywhere else on the map either for the better part of it, so it might just be as well to just hop back onto it, see what happens.
Oh, tabseN even waited, like, I don't want to get hit by the AWP, so I'm going to hold here for a second, and then I'm going to cross, but even gets tagged in the smoke and the wall, and the follow-up shot is perfect. There's a pick. There's an opening for HellRaisers. It's been a while since they've had one. Fast play into middle off the back of that, but Oscar gets so blinded by the flashes. Xantares, he might go through this smoke, and it feels like he will. Angel's ready for it, though, playing anti-flash in the corner.
Oscar was definitely not playing anti-flash.
No, he was just playing flash.
Yeah.
And
Worked
now,
out, though.
Look at this B side.
Oh, Legia had the chance to get a drop on Nukin. That would have been bomb under control for Big as well.
Instead, it's only one man inside a B, and they're surrounding him from both sides. Tizian's got a hide on car. Issa just, oh, that's so annoying to deal with. What do you do there? Smoothie's going to find a trade, but it's only a 1-on-4, and that bomb should be getting planted soon. It's just entered the site. Now we're going to go through that Molotov, and good night, Smooth. 4th round for HellRaisers. The B site is the only place they've won rounds.
Yeah. It really is. This time they do it through mid initially. And again, HellRaisers, you have to come to the realization at this point that it's the only thing that's working for you, so just go back to it until Big actually finds a way to stop you.
I don't think there's going to be really any chances for that, because Big are forcing up now for the last couple of rounds, hoping Big can win it with an AWP and a FAMAS. Not looking too good. And hey, considering this was what, 7-0? This is now starting to look like a decent half for HellRaisers. Realistically, can end 9-6, and I don't think that's a crazy assumption at this point.
Definitely not. Oh, that's a less than ideal miss, and Smooth's going to get aggressive on catwalk as well. So even with limited weaponry, Big is going to find the opening kill. They've also done significant damage onto Oscar. Legia spots that one. Actually changes up his position. Probably doesn't want to get mollied off.
Oh, nice.
Everything's just not going the way of HellRaisers, is it?
Smooth's just peeked down mid as well and taken Oscar. So that's the AWP gone, and that's a further advantage for Big in a round where, you know, they've not lost a point of health. And look at what they bring into the table. 2 pistols and a scout. It's working out for them, though. HellRaisers are done with the B site. Lau's coming in through lower, and the bomb's back in T-spawn, looking to emerge through long, potentially. But Big have a double setup in position. Lau might get flashed in through mid here by Issa, who's taken the AWP off of Oscar's body. tabseN is ready and waiting.
That's a really good spot to, if not get a kill, then at least do significant damage. Oh, he's going to peer forward.
Oh, no. Oh!
Ooh, okay, that gets awkward for a long time. Issa actually misses the follow-up as well. Smooth is not. And yeah, as you said, without a point of damage to Big's name, Nicky is all of a sudden left alone, and he's outside along with 15 seconds left. They got nowhere in that round.
I was just wondering, where's Lau looking? Is he watching lower, or because
I think that he was worried about. I think it's a timing issue where Issa's picked up the op. He's like, I've got mid covered for you, but he says that, you know, half a second before he's in position.
Yeah.
And that's when tabseN gets through. So it's a, you know, bad luck, but
that is
doesn't
an
look
awful
great.
round to lose.
Yeah, it really is. And you were hopeful for a bit. You know, this could end up in a 9-6 round. Or half. And you were right.
The glass is half empty.
At this point, it really feels that way.
That's 3 kills from Smooth on the AWP in a crucial round as well, right? It's going to salvage a big economy for the end of the half. It's going to force HellRaisers down to scraps as well, and a round where Big had nothing to show for it.
And he did it from 3 different positions as well, right? Just getting one shot off, repositioning, really solid job from Smooth.
HellRaisers, they've gotten out long very easily in the past, but it's past this that they get a little bit stuck. This time, good
Tizian's
shots by Oscar. Tizian's missing those. Smoothie's going to have to respond, but he's trapped in on the car. And once that smoke fades, he's going to be open to the long corner as well. It actually won't be because HellRaisers back off and run into B. They've caught the perfect timing. Big have rotated off, and hook, line, and sinker. Is in the sight.
Yeah, this should be a HellRaisers round. Oscar's still able to just keep players at long. Now, they should be aware. Finally, Smooth's going to be able to get out of the position by car, but unless they find a gap through the smoke, or through the smoke, through the doors, it's not going to work out. Ooh, oh, they know. Are they going to double up? They're going to double up with the feet, right?
Yeah,
surely Smooth. No?
No need.
Okay, then. That's so nicely done.
Oh,
all right, then. A little bit early for Lowell to drop. Now it's a 2v2.
You can see Nuki just run. He's like, nope, I don't want to take 1v1 in mid. I'm going to come play the bomb, get in late through tunnels, and join Angel in the site. Now, they only have 20 seconds left, so they've got to make a run for it. No rifles to pick up. They've just got these AWPs. They've got to be mobile with the glass, or with the cannons, rather. Angel waiting for contact. Nuki's got an angle on the door. Tabson going to hit the shot. How on earth are Big making this round happen? I do not understand. And they've got the defuse as well. 11 rounds on the half. How? How?
Oh, man.
HellRaisers had the B site like 10 seconds into that round.
They did. They had a 2-man advantage. Like 3-man advantage.
That was a 2-on-4 or a 2-on-5.
They had a 5v3, and Issa managed to find Legia. Then there was a return, right? And I think 4v2.
Oh my.
Bomb side under your control. But the thing is, like, they find HellRaisers players just out and about. So one thing is the position, I think it was from Angel, right? By the car that Tabson nails. The leg shot into the Deagle. And then the Lowell dropping immediately after into spawn, getting caught by a Smooya. For no real reason either. You don't actually need to do that until you've gotten visual confirmation that they're focused on actually moving into B.
Of course, he never knew there was a second player there, right? Like you wouldn't.
You kind of have to assume though, because Smooya got the kill on Oscar, and what kind of rotation path can you really take?
Oh, into the pistol now, and that's not the start that Oscar wanted. Dinked immediately. Nuki's hiding on the car. They haven't checked it. Oh, this could be big. And it is. Xantara's going down. Bomb dropped, and Nuki has salvaged something here for HellRaisers. Surely this is a round they take now. And further shots being tagged down to 11 for Allegia. That's a dink. Rare to see with a USP, but one of the few positions is long. You can have that happen.
Smooth's continuing on with his rampage, though. 17-5 so far. Not going to be expecting Lowell to peer out from double doors on B, though. So, all down to Tabson and Legia. Legia's heavily damaged. We'll see what comes of it. Oh, dink as well.
HellRaisers don't need to be taking these fights. It's getting
definitely
scary.
Don't, but they've been doing it all game.
I mean, USP versus Glock, right? You're going to have some confidence, and luckily it's not a problem. They deal with Tabson. Legia, 10 HP, is not long for this world, I would imagine. Plus that bomb still out in the open, and there we go. Finally finished off. HellRaisers, they take the pistol round, at least getting some momentum moving into the second half, right? Because, of course, think about how that started the first half when it was 7-0 down to Big.
They need everything that can go their way right now. This is a great job from Nikki to be able to find two. Also, repositioning up on the bomb site. So it's a start, but nothing really so far that can say that you feel confident about HellRaisers being able to mount a comeback at this stage. So we're not going to see the force buy from Big. They obviously didn't get a bomb plant. So not going to be that second round buy with dropped AKs and whatnot. Oscar's going to land the first tag on Tizian. And this is with the forward positioning and lower. Finds two. So already this is going pretty swimmingly for the CTs.
Yeah, as you would expect with pretty much nothing bought.
Yeah, Tabson with the Deagle, and that's pretty much it.
And they've heard that as well. Angels ready for the peak. Tabson. Ooh.
He's waiting for it.
Ah, unlucky.
Oh yeah, can he get one? No.
Well, there it is. 6 rounds, at least 5 players surviving for HellRaisers. The issue is now you're in a spot where it's like you're going to run the bonus, of course, because you know what other choice do you have? But now being coming in with a full rifle round, and you've got 1 AUG and a FAMAS. Those are your rifles.
Yeah, I'd be happier with the MP9 instead of that FAMAS.
Yeah, give me a scout, really.
I guess he's playing on long, right? So he needs some sort of weapon that you can use at a distance.
Ooh.
Oh, somebody spotted it. Even tagged up Issa as well. That's going to send them right out of lower.
So many flashbangs, though, and these T's need to get out through the long corner. Legia finally going to trade Tizian. And they have at least taken long. HellRaisers forfeiting it, falling back towards the safety of the site.
Yeah. So not only man advantage, but also HP advantage going in the favor of Big here. They do have the better weapons to work with.
Now they've taken long. They can just post up Smooya in position and hope that HellRaisers give him a pick.
And unlike the last time we saw, well, in pretty much the mirror of this round from HellRaisers, they have 2 smokes on Big this time. So they can actually get the proper block for cross. Right now they've left Issa alone. He's on 30 HP. He's a solo defender on that A-bomb site. The others are so far away.
Yeah, this is just a gamble. He's watching short from the site with 30 HP and an MP9. If someone comes short, he's dead. There's nothing about it, but luckily Big are creeping in through long. This could be perfect for Big though, because Issa's only going to make contact when they are ready to kill him. That's a perfect timing peek. Oscar's going to spot them. Xantares trades back onto the site, but that bomb still got dropped in the open. They need to pick it up, and they don't have a smoke down for that spawn just yet. Xantares needs to throw that so they can pick up the bomb, but this is just buying more time for HellRaisers to rotate into position.
They still have that off in play though on Smooya. That's so big. Smoking 2 flashes. Both go out for HellRaisers. They need to go now.
Ooh, a shot. Smooya going back in for more, but Xantares gives him covering fire. And the Orc moving in. Perfect shot from Lau. Makes it a 2-on-2. HellRaisers, they do have a kit to get this retake going, but that's just been dropped with Lau as well. Oscar going to swap out to the Deagle and just look to take this up close and personal. Orc back in hand, but Tabson's ready for the cover. And Big, another round on the board. They take the first rifle. And that was, that was a really, really close round considering the setup that HellRaisers had, right? Because they had a pretty awful setup for what Big did.
They were so reliant on, though. I mean, the only way HellRaisers even have a fighting chance in that is if Oscar turns at that exact moment to peek up towards long. Because he was looking in towards mid for the longest period of time. And as you can see, Issa was simply playing off of sound cues to drop that smoke, and even when that kill comes through, it's not soon enough.
Again, getting out through long very fast. Big force HellRaisers back. They have the quick spawn. Oscar's up on catwalk. He's aggressively peeking into suicide, but there's no one there. Smooya's taking his AWP just outside of the long. He may be coming back through the spawn, though, and going towards B later in the round.
He's going to throw a big box smoke.
Yeah.
The good thing for Big right now, well, not that they realize it. Obviously, it's going to be hard to know with the limited information they have. But they were able to take long with so little utility that they could have set up for an almost impossible to defend long take from the position they had. So they're going to fall back, still plenty of utility to work with. That smoke's not going to be long enough to actually get Angel out of his position.
Ooh. Still in the corner, though. He hasn't dropped off yet. They don't know it. He's just going to commit, not even trying to jiggle, just taking the fight and double peeked. Tizian's going to get the kill. Another man advantage here to Big to start off this round, and Cat Control plus Long is in their territory, so HellRaisers only 2 players on the correct side of the map right now, and Oscar's going to try and re-aggress. Quick scope back in takes Tizian, but he's got to deal with the long pressure as well. He's getting pushed from 2 positions, and you can't even see the player in that smoke. That is so... I wonder if that smoke's on purpose. That creates like a bit of a long way, right? That was
like a little
interesting
dip between the 2 smokes that gave Xantares the vision to find Oscar. That was really neat.
I need to check that out.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a GG.B thing.
Definitely.
Right?
But, you know, a lot of teams that go, oh, maybe it's a mistake. But if it's Big, you know, I'm
you're
willing to
more likely.
believe. I'm willing to believe.
If we see it more than once, obviously there's not that many rounds to play off of with how this is going. But if Big do a similar thing on an additional setup, then yeah, it has to be intentional. That was really cool, though. All about finding
shielded,
yeah. And I mean, if it's not intentional, go back, pick it up, make it an intentional thing, right?
Yeah.
So it was definitely something that worked out nicely for them. No chase, no chance for HellRaisers to do anything, so they're going to opt to hold on to the 3 weapons. Not going to be able to pick up the op that Oscar had. It's a bit of a shame. It's 2 FAMASes and a Colt going into the next round. Not ideal. So you see the scoreboard. Tabson, as usual, at the top of it, together with Smooya, the new recruit. I guess old new recruit, if you want to put it that way, coming back into it. 17-8. He's been really getting into it early on.
Yeah, great start, and, well, maybe great finish. Big aren't far away from a victory on their map pick, of course. 3 rounds separate them, and they might go fast in towards B this time, assuming Tabson gets the pick. He's posted up, Molotov in his face, and Laul is so close. Smoke makes it very hard to see, and that one does as well, so big.
I could see a world where Tabshin just fires off a random shot.
Right. Maybe not wanting to give away the fact that the AWP is in tunnels, but it's been swapped back to Smooya.
Now, this is just, well, a position where we saw HellRaisers not really being able to mount too much when they slowed things down, outside of the few couple of rounds where they went towards B. So we'll see what the game plan is for Big. Might just actually run boost out of here, but for now, just going to peer over the smoke, and Vision actually spots one.
Wow.
And there you have the issue with it, though. Pretty obvious that there's going to be a boost there once the shots start rattling it off, and if you can't find the immediate hit, very likely to have both go down.
Big just love a boost right now.
Yeah. Molotov's too far. This follow-up's going to be good.
Ooh, closer. They still don't know Lau's in this corner as well. That's why no one's fighting from HellRaisers. They're waiting for him to make contact, but Xantares holding the angle. Double cast setup, but they're fully blind. If Xantares committed there, he could have got a free kill. Now he's going to slow it down, and Angel's going to re-aggress, takes a frag, drops the bomb, and there's another man in the window to even finish off these two low HP players. Flank is in, and HellRaisers got this round lock and key. 7 on the CT side, and there's the start.
There's a start indeed. HellRaisers just getting the correct read after the first couple of frags, just boxing them in completely. I'm a little bit surprised actually that we saw Lowell pushing aggressively forward. And yeah, you can tell Nicky was so aware of the fact that there was a boost in play. Great job from him to swing that into a significant advantage for HellRaisers. Odds for GG.Bet still not looking too great for HellRaisers, but might be the start of something. Oh, that's dirty.
Oscar was like confused. He didn't know where he was getting shot from.
It's like there shouldn't be an angle that exists for this.
So quickly out through middle. Angel going to swing it through as well. And
oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, he'll take that. Smoke getting thrown into B as well, and it's empty right now. That's why Angel was rushing so quickly towards that site, because they're going to get scared that this is a B play. Double long setup, though, and Nuki going to spot these players moving through as they take down Isra on the corner. Nuki doubles it. Can he get any more? Yes, bomb dropped, and he has just single-handedly saved this round so far. It's not done just yet, but Lau does catch Tabson moving through the catwalk, and now it's just the glass cannon. 1-on-3, UK Hope.
Yep, there you go. Wisens up to it eventually. He's like, where did he go? Figures the only opportunity. There we go. HellRaisers with a pretty clean round. The timing there on when they decide to rotate back to long, the flashes from Issa is actually so vital there. You can see Nicky being able to pick up the first one, and Liggy a little bit slow to get into a trade position. All it takes for them to swing that back into it. So yeah, they're having a fighting chance here. Big being sent back into an eco. Prime opportunity for HellRaisers to shore up their economy a little bit extra. It's just pure Glocks. You'd expect this to be a pretty easy go of it for Big. Flash is going to come in from top mid from Tijian, and if Oscar stays around for a little bit too long, that could be a nightmare.
Oh, no. Overwhelmed. Bombarded. These pistols are coming great effect. Smooth's found himself an AWP, and he's taking down Issa in the spawn. Needs to try and get that bomb, but the flashes are in. Is he going to get the shot as well? Almost goes down. Tizian drops in. Lowell saves his teammate's life, who had his back turned, and Smooth gets cleaned up. So it is dealt with. But that got scary for a second.
I appreciate the drop down into spawn simply just to like buy time for Smooth to potentially reposition and get out. Definitely creating some chaos in the ranks of HellRaisers, but in the end, it's only 2 kills. It's not that magical number of 3 to go down, so HellRaisers still are in that round for net plus with being able to pick up the op as well.
They're half buying here. Tizian's gone all in though, balls to the wall with a Galil.
Yeah, this is a bit of an odd one. Still be enough money on the side of Smooth, etc. to pick up an op for the next one. I'm always curious about these kind of full investments from single players on a team, like what the thought process is behind it.
I guess you're just hoping that they can be the one to save the round, get a couple of entries. But
yeah, I mean, maybe if you have an AK, right?
Yeah.
I mean...
yeah, I don't get it either with the Galil.
We'll see if it comes to prominence. For now, though, catwalk control has been given up. Big is going to take advantage of that, and they do have some utility here, so they can't set up for a short take. You can see smokes flying out.
There's
you see the one. Yeah, so it's intentional.
It is intentional. That's
no, wait. No, that's a different one. Okay, that's Respawn.
Maybe they messed it up last time then. Either way, we'll keep our eyes on that again. No one's watching it this time. Lau's playing Goose. That's a great flash to force Oscar back. And now Lau's going to fight to his death. He's got the first. Double peek coming through. And Smooya eventually gets the trade. That can allow for the bomb plant. But Oscar is picking up his teammates left, right, and center. Issa jump shotting the wrong position. And Smooya's found that glow off the body of Tizian, but he won't get any further with it. It's another retake for HellRaisers. And a 10th round taken. This game is starting to close up. As weird as that feels to say, it felt like Big at one point just had this one done. But
yeah.
HellRaisers have really pulled it back on the CT side.
We'll see if they can actually continue with it. It's a 4-round win streak for them so far, though. Now they're going to have to go up against Big with weapons. I can see enough money on the side of Smooya to get weapons. Tizian, with that Galil buy, is only going to be left with an AK full cav if he wants to.
He's probably going to go for another Galil, get util.
Yeah, it's very likely. Actually, well, yeah, there you go. Gets head armor as well, obviously important versus CTs. Even though there are a fair few AKs in play, you want to make sure that you don't fall for the one tap to the M4. Yeah, so far when both of these teams have slowed down, it's heads up from Smooya to expect that. He's won up more of these duels than not versus Oscar at this game. But yeah, whenever these teams have slowed down, the T sides haven't really been working out. Both teams have actually been pretty consistent about giving up long for the better part of it as well, but none of the teams have been that great at capitalizing off of it.
Oh, Angel flashes himself in. Yeah, he's picked that up off of Oscar, and he actually got Smooya fully blind on that corner, so Tizian hung out to dry there. Smooya, oh, what a spray. So much damage, and the Molotov surely seals Smooya's fate. The smoke comes down just in time, but he's still got to get out of this position. He can just get spammed down through that smoke. Legia, a similar situation down the middle, also on 7. Smooya is still tucked in, and Yuki, he doesn't want to hunt the kill. He's fine with just knowing that he's got this guy locked in the corner. Wait for a teammate to molly it out. Do you have another smoke there, Smooya? Probably not, but it comes through too early.
Yeah, that's just not that wise of a play from Angel. He's going to die for it as well, and Smooya gets out.
Oh, that should never happen.
Yeah, very true.
That really shouldn't happen.
And I mean, as low as they are on HP on the side of Big, they do have utility here. 2 Molotovs, smoke, and no, that's a great start as well.
And now the A site's completely rumbled. It's been emptied.
Angel decided to push forward. No, I mean, Nikki decided to push forward on long. So bomb's going to go down. Retake position with no utility on the side of HellRaisers. At least they have the HP advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, but that's a small silver lining here. Lau coming in from the spawn, being flashed up by Nuki. Molotov, he's got to go ahead of that, and they're going to hit the tick. They're going to know he's close. Smooya's going to go down, though, in a follow-up. Xantares is gone. Legia, 7 HP. He's got to find a 1-on-2 to keep this one alive, but the shot missed, and you only get one opportunity. Lau's going to take him down, and HellRaisers, another one on this CT side. That's a 5-round streak, and they don't look like they're stopping anytime soon.
They're bringing it back slowly but surely here. Big not finding their footing here on the T side. They're going to get another buy-in, but again, they slow things down. It doesn't really pan out. Very similar, I guess, recipe to what we saw from HellRaisers. You're able to get some map control, but you don't really do much with it. And even in that scenario, the only reason we're even in a spot where Big can fight it back is because of a couple of slip-ups from the side of HellRaisers and individuals on the side of Big being able to capitalize on big moves.
Oscar's had enough. He's going to hit the tag onto Smooya in through middle. How Big setting up for a B play, though, and actually there's only one man here, so this could be the perfect time to go in. There's a quick rotate available from Oscar, but only with that AWP. If they smoke off the door, he's going to be rendered useless.
Long exit smoke goes down. It's just going to reposition off of that. Now he's in a spot where it's really, really tough to flash him out as well. Still not getting any sort of backup, though. You can see Oscar still very well focused on double doors.
Uh-oh.
Is that Molotov going to go banked?
So much utility. They don't check it, though. Is is ready, and he gets one. Trade is in, but Oscar's already found himself through the doorway. Wallbang coming through, and that might just be Big back on the board. It's B after all. They're taking it in a 4-on-3. Lau could grab that AWP if he wants to save, and he has at least picked it up. But bomb getting planted, and no flanking for HellRaisers. They're all in the same position, but that's a no-scope through the wall. Xantares trading right back through the smoke, though, and this is when Angel just calls it quits.
Yep. It looked like Lau wanted to get the hell out.
Yeah.
Earlier, somebody spurred him like, no, we can go for this. And as close as he is, I'm finding the frag onto Legia through the door. It just doesn't pan out. So 14 rounds for Big here. And apparently B bomb side is the solution to all your ails on the T side.
Yeah. That's how HellRaisers got their only few rounds on the first half.
Yeah.
And Big, after a bit of a break from actually winning here in the second half, they're going to get back on it with another B play. So
Slight hiatus.
Yeah. Just a holiday, you know. Taking a mid-map nap.
Although we'll see if this spurs Big onto a bit of a spree and actually close out their own map pick. Again, as iffy as HellRaisers have been so far here on Dust 2, at times, I still would favor them going into a map like Overpass. That's the one map where they have been pretty consistent in terms of delivery, how high their level has been. So Big can't feel too confident about how things are panning out just now.
Which just makes this one all the more important. Centaurus going for that long pick. He had the spawn, but flashed off and mollied. Gets out with a pretty decent amount of HP considering the situation, but Big are going to start to take the catwalk. Oscar aiming a little too high. Nuki was actually hung out to dry. He was playing with his teammate, but Oscar's already fallen back down. Does get the refrag. Can he find any more? They almost line up. Going for a third shot, but Tizian eventually takes him down. His time is over. Meggy is just going to smoke off that door, rotate, and that's going to make things very difficult for HellRaisers. They can't get back up catwalk for the retake. They've got to all go through CT if they want to attempt this.
And right now, that's Molotoved off as well, and there's still 2 more Molotovs in play, actually, for Big. There you go. No access allowed. Bombs still dropped outside of long, though, so they need to actually be able to get their hands on that and move back through long.
Well, they haven't cleared long. That's the thing.
Yeah, they haven't cleared the corner, so Smooth's going to venture up short. He's going to be fine, though. Lawel gives up his positioning. Like, yeah. Let's see if he can find anything. And is whiffing a fair few shots, but in the end, manages to win out the battle versus Lawel. So now you'd have to imagine this is Big's round all over it.
Yeah, surely. I mean, Zantaris even trying to lock it in, getting aggressive, taking down Angel, and he knows that it's still in middle, so they can just surround him from all sides. That they will. Smooya finishes it off, and Big lock in their 15th. That's map point here on their pick of Dust 2. As said, Overpass coming up next, and this is certainly looking like a 3-map series, at least on paper, but yeah, obviously we're not even through the first yet, so...
No, but it's looking like a fairly tall task for HellRaisers to be able to bounce back into this one. The buy going into the final round is not going to be, well, the stuff of legends. You do have an up on Oscar. That could take you pretty far. But 5-7s and Deagles might be a bit of an issue here. Long control is yet again going to be given up temporarily at least. Oh, Leggy on the repeat finds the Opera of Oscar as well.
What a huge opener.
From Leggy as well with an op. Not exactly what you would have expected. But again, if you do have that spawn, make the most out of it.
Oh, look at this push-up catwalk. Nuki's walked right past Zantaris. He's also gotten out through middle. They're elevator boosting, and he's cut them down before the player got on top. Issa can't do a thing in the world. He is stuck trying to jump above those bullets. Nuki knows Zantaris is lower, but doesn't even take the killing shot. Didn't really have a killing shot. And Big are all over the A site right now. They know they've killed the 2 defenders. All they've got to worry about is catwalk. Or so they think.
Tabson's already got long covered off as well, so Nuki not very likely to be long for this world. And Lowell 1-on-5 with a Deagle. No kit.
Do you believe?
No.
Wow, how dare
he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell to win this one. And Big looking to close out Dust 2 here. Eventually, after a bit of a labored take at it throughout the midway of the second half, but 16-11, still a respectable scoreline for the new squad.
Yeah, Smooya top fragging the server as well, 23 and 13 at the end of things. And yeah, it's nice to see Big looking like a whole different team, looking better than at least the other day.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And I mean, now we're going to go into a bit more of a technical map in Overpass for map number 2. I guess there we get a bit more of a clear sight as to how good they're going to be and how well oiled of a machinery the big team have gotten to be at this point. Because again, we kind of alluded to it in the pregame, they haven't been together for too long. They're still not playing with their full lineup that they have intended to go further with. So a lot of questions up in the air in that sense. And for HellRaisers, needs to be a big bounce back game.
Exactly, and on Overpass that shall be. So second map coming up just after the break. We're going to take a quick commercial moment and we'll be back soon.